In 2010, you called the results of the midterm election shellacking. What do you call this?
Well, as I said in my opening statement, there's no doubt that the Republicans had a good night.
Yeah, there was the president last Wednesday. Joining us now, Mark Steyn, a conservative commentator and author. You hear him filling in for Rush, of course, and he's the author of a book that we talked about a couple of weeks ago, The Undocumented Mark Steyn. Hello, sir.
Hey, good to be back with you, Steve.
Good to have you back. All right, so, you know, when first of all, he said a couple of bizarre things there. What really struck me was when he said, I heard the 1/3 of the people who voted, but I also heard the 2/3 who didn't. Do you have any idea what he meant by that?
No, unless he's like one of these highly strung dogs that can hear things at frequencies human beings can't. Because, of course, these 2/3 of the electorate that didn't vote basically said nothing. He doesn't know. He's making the assumption there that somehow they're all for him, that they're all gung-ho for him. And there's no evidence for that at all, and quite a lot of evidence against it. But it's important that he shouldn't be allowed to get away with saying that. I'm not one of these people who you know, makes Hitler comparisons, because you know, my mother grew up under Nazi occupation, and I know the difference. She certainly knew the difference between the real thing and fellas who just say infelicitous things occasionally. But the presumption to be that he should be embodying the will of the people, regardless of what the election result says, is actually something that no leader in a free society should make. And I wouldn't mind, but given that his big thing now is to threaten Congress with that unless they do a complete comprehensive overhaul of U.S. immigration law in the lame duck session, he's going to go ahead and do his own thing. They shouldn't be doing that in a lame duck session.
No.
The will of the people has spoken, and the idea that half a dozen senators who are on their way out the door should have the right to rewrite American immigration law as they're leaving is basically to flip the finger at the electorate. Most free societies don't have so-called lame duck sessions. You know, in Canada, if the party that loses the election, boom, they're gone. They can't legislate. There's no lame duck. Same in Australia. Same everywhere except here. The will of to suggest that a major overhaul of fundamental U.S. legislation should be made by people who are on their way out the door ought to be repugnant to anyone who has any respect for the will of the people. So nuts to him on that.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And you know, John McCain was here yesterday, and he said, where was it again that the Founding Fathers said that first the executive shall sign an executive order, and then it'll be incumbent upon the Congress to come up with something to override it.
Yeah. No, I know. And that's, as I say, that's why this sort of mysterious claim that there are vast millions of people out there who don't show up at the ballot box, who don't go to vote, but that somehow he is speaking for them, and this great 2/3 of the electorate. I mean, why not? There's 7 billion people on the planet. Does he speak for them too? I mean, this is deranged, and it's unbecoming in an accountable, responsible leader of a free society.
Maybe next time he should go around, instead of saying "get out the vote, go shake Uncle Pookie off the couch," he should say "leave Uncle Pookie on the couch, because if he doesn't vote, I still understand what he was trying to say."
Yeah, exactly. At least whatever one feels about Al Gore, at least Al Gore's lawyers claim to be able to detect slight indentations in dimpled chads. This guy is basically saying, stay at home, I'll dimple your chad for you.
That's right. That's a very good one. All right, so what should the Republicans do here? You know, I mean, there's the school of thought, of course, and the hope, maybe against hope, that the leadership will confront Barack Obama. And then, of course, you know, I think McConnell played good cop to Boehner's bad cop, or vice versa, when they first spoke after the election with how they're going to deal with Obama.
Yeah, I'm a bit worried when you say he played good cop to bad cop, or vice versa. I'm a bit worried that we may have a good cop, bad cop routine in which both of them are playing the good cop role. That's my slight reservation with Messrs. Boehner and McConnell. But I don't think there are any takers out there among the American electorate for this kind of unilateral monarchical.
No, in fact,
legislation.
Mark, not to interrupt, but 75% of those polled out of the booth said exactly what you just said. We're coming back with part 2. More Mark Steyn next. Don't go away.